Stop scrolling. The 2026 movie lineup is so unhinged you won't believe it's real. We're talking Christopher Nolan's next IMAX epic, a street-level Spider-Man reboot, and Robert Downey Jr. returning to Marvel as Dr. Doom. But the real madness? December 18th, where two of the biggest movies of the decade clash on the exact same day. Welcome to Flick Ranks. Let's count down the 15 most insane movies coming your way in 2026. At number 15, Evil Dead Burn. The Evil Dead franchise has been on an absolute tear. Evil Dead Rise in 2023 was a critical and commercial monster, and now the franchise is returning with a new chapter that promises to be even more unhinged. Details are scarce, but the title alone tells you what you need to know. Burn, fire, cabin, woods, a deadite barbecue? Whatever it is, expect practical, gut-churning effects, gallons of fake blood, and at least one sequence that makes you question the director's mental health. It's horror action, and it drops July 10th. Start mentally preparing now. At number 14, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And I need you to understand the scale of what we're talking about here. Homer's epic poem, one of the oldest stories in human civilization, being directed by the man who made Oppenheimer, Inception, and Interstellar. The cast is reportedly massive. Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Lupita Nyong'o. The budget is rumored to be north of $250 million. What makes The Odyssey terrifyingly exciting is Nolan doing ancient action, naval battles, mythological creatures, Cyclops rendered with practical effects because Christopher Nolan will absolutely refuse to use CGI for a Cyclops. The man blew up a real 747 for Tenet. Do you think he's going to use a computer for a giant one-eyed monster? The Odyssey drops July 17th. This isn't just an action movie. This is cinema history being written. At number 13, closing out July with a bang, Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Tom Holland is back, and this time, nobody remembers Peter Parker. After the events of No Way Home, the entire world has forgotten who Spider-Man is. And this film picks up with a Peter Parker who is completely, utterly alone. What makes Brand New Day significant is the creative reset. No Iron Man, no multiverse cameos, no Avengers backup. This is a street-level Spider-Man story, the first one Holland has ever gotten. And the Brand New Day comic storyline it's based on is one of the most beloved Spider-Man arcs ever written. Expect grounded fight choreography, emotional devastation, and Tom Holland proving once again why he's the best Spider-Man we've ever had. July 31st.
Get out of there, run!
What the hell's going on?
Get back!
At number 12, The End of Oak Street. And I'm gonna be honest, almost nobody is talking about this film, which is a crime. Here's what we know. It's a sci-fi thriller with a stacked cast and a premise locked tighter than a nuclear briefcase. The secrecy around this project is either a brilliant marketing move or a massive red flag. And honestly, I'm leaning toward brilliant. What makes this one intriguing is the director. The team behind this has delivered before, and the plot apparently involves a suburban street that becomes ground zero for something catastrophic. Think Super 8 meets Cloverfield with a 2026 budget. It arrives August 14th. Keep one eye on this. At number 11, it's Mutiny. And I'm gonna say three words that sell this entire film. Jason Statham, boat.
And back in! I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Statham plays a man who survives the murder of his billionaire boss and must fight his way through a crew of mercenaries on a cargo ship. That's the premise. That's all you need. What makes Mutiny perfect is that Jason Statham on a boat is the most Jason Statham premise ever conceived. The man literally fought a giant prehistoric shark on a boat, and millions of us watched it twice. This time he's fighting actual humans, which somehow feels novel. Directed by Jean-Francois Richet, who made the fantastic Plane, August 21st. Just go. At number 10, it's The Dog Stars. And this might be the most important film on this entire list that nobody is talking about. Based on the acclaimed novel by Peter Heller, a post-apocalyptic survival story about a pilot and his dog living in a hangar 9 years after a flu pandemic wiped out most of humanity. The book is beautiful, brutal, and deeply human. What makes The Dog Stars significant is the talent behind the camera. The director has a track record of turning literary fiction into visual poetry, and the casting is reportedly targeting A-list talent. This isn't an action movie in the traditional sense. It's a film about survival, about hope, about what you do to protect the one living thing that still needs you. August 28th, bring tissues and a strong stomach. At number 9, it's Hope. A Na Hong-jin alien thriller that is going to be absolutely unhinged. If you don't know Na Hong-jin, he directed The Wailing and The Chaser, two of the most intense, nerve-shredding thrillers in Korean cinema history. And now he's making an alien invasion film. What makes Hope terrifying is that Na Hong-jin doesn't do comforting. His films don't give you happy endings. His characters don't have plot armor. If he's bringing his signature bleakness to the alien invasion genre, we're looking at something that could genuinely traumatize audiences. Think Arrival, but if Arrival wanted to hurt you. September 9th, mark it. At number 8, Resident Evil. A full reboot from the ground up. After the Mila Jovovich franchise ran for 6 films and made over $1 billion, the studio is finally doing what fans have begged for: a horror-first, game-accurate adaptation. What makes this Resident Evil exciting is the creative team. They've promised to return to the Spencer Mansion, return to the survival horror roots, and deliver something that actually respects the source material. No superpowers, no Matrix fights, just a tightly wound action horror film where every zombie encounter could be your last. September 18th. If they nail this, it's the start of a new billion-dollar franchise. At number 7, it's Heart of the Beast, and this is the sleeper pick of the entire fall.
One last mission.
We're not gonna die out here.
Buddy, I got you.
A survival thriller reportedly involving a former Navy SEAL and his retired combat dog stranded in the Alaskan wilderness. The title suggests something primal, something raw. Survival against nature, against predators, against the elements. There's not much information out there yet, but the talent attached is significant. And honestly, a man and his dog survival action film in that September slot? That's the kind of film that overperforms massively because nobody saw it coming. September 25th, remember the date. At number 6, it's Street Fighter. And before you groan, hear me out. Yes, the 1994 film was a disaster. Yes, the 2009 Chun-Li movie was somehow worse. But this is a full reboot from Legendary Entertainment, the studio behind the MonsterVerse and Dune. The creative team has reportedly studied what makes fighting game adaptations work, and the casting is targeting actual martial artists. What makes this Street Fighter different is the approach. They're not doing a comedy. They're doing a serious martial arts action film with the characters you love. Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, M. Bison, treated with actual respect. It could fail spectacularly, but if it works, we're looking at the start of a fighting game cinematic universe. October 16th. At number 5, it's Clayface. And yes, you read that right. A standalone Clayface horror action film from DC. Mike Flanagan, the mind behind The Haunting of Hill House and Midnight Mass, is directing a body horror action film about a shape-shifting monster made of clay who used to be an actor. The script is reportedly dark, tragic, and genuinely scary. What makes Clayface fascinating is that DC is finally embracing their weirder villains. This isn't a superhero movie. This is a monster movie. A tragic figure who can reshape his body into weapons, who can look like anyone, and who is slowly losing his grip on his own identity. October 23rd. This is going to be special. At number 4, it's Godzilla Minus Zero, the sequel to the film that won an Oscar. Godzilla Minus One was a miracle. A $15 million Japanese film that went toe-to-toe with Hollywood blockbusters and won Best Visual Effects at the Academy Awards. And now the director, Takashi Yamazaki, is back with the sequel. What makes Minus Zero potentially even better is that Yamazaki now has a bigger budget, a proven audience, and the confidence of an Oscar win. He's promised more Godzilla, more destruction, and the same emotional storytelling that made Minus One devastating. November 6th. If this is anywhere near as good as the first one, we're looking at the best Godzilla film ever made. Again.
At number 3, it's The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping.
And I genuinely did not expect to be this excited about a Hunger Games movie in 2026. This is the prequel about Haymitch Abernathy's Hunger Games, the 50th Games, the Quarter Quell, where twice as many tributes were thrown into the arena. Haymitch won these games, and the book, written by Suzanne Collins and releasing March 2025, is already one of the most anticipated novels of the decade. What makes this film massive is the built-in audience. The Hunger Games franchise has grossed over $3 billion. Fans have wanted Haymitch's story for over a decade. The director of the last film is an Oscar winner now, November 20th. The odds are absolutely in this one's favor.
Our runner-up at number 2.
Avengers Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU, but not as Iron Man, as Dr. Doom. The biggest hero in Marvel history is now playing the biggest villain. And if you're not losing your mind over that sentence, you don't understand what Marvel just did. The Russo brothers are back to direct. The cast reportedly includes every major MCU character still standing. The budget is allegedly the largest in film history, and the antagonist is Victor Von Doom, played by the face the entire franchise was built on. What makes Doomsday the most fascinating film of 2026 is the psychological layer. Tony Stark's face, delivering Dr. Doom's lines. The emotional damage that's going to do to audiences who grew up with Iron Man. December 18th. This is going to break the internet and the box office.
And finally, at number 1,
Dune Part 3. Releasing on the exact same day as Avengers Doomsday, December 18th, 2026. The single boldest release date decision in modern box office history. Denis Villeneuve returns to conclude his Dune trilogy, adapting Dune Messiah, the book where everything falls apart. Paul Atreides, now Emperor of the known universe, faces the consequences of his holy war. 12 billion dead, a galaxy that hates him, and a conspiracy that threatens to destroy everything he's built. What makes Dune 3 my number 1 is simple. Denis Villeneuve has never missed. Dune Part 1 was a masterpiece, Dune Part 2 was somehow better, and Dune Messiah is the most challenging, emotionally complex book in the entire series. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, all returning. The scale will be unimaginable, and the fact that this is releasing against Avengers on the same day tells you one thing: Warner Brothers is not scared. If you care about cinema, about what action filmmaking can achieve when treated with absolute seriousness, Dune 3 Part is the one. December 18th. That's the list. 15 absolutely insane movies coming in 2026. The only question left is for December 18th. Are you claiming a ticket for Dune 3 or Avengers Doomsday first? It is the cinema debate of the decade, so drop your answer in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe to Flick Ranks, and ring the bell so you never miss a countdown. I'm out. See you in the next one.